Hello everyone, welcome back to another review video. In this review, we're going to be checking out the Xshot Ninja collaboration, Justice, the big 1,000+ combination blaster that came in my very big Xshot Zuru box. This is the blaster I was most excited to look at because I have not seen it before in person, but I heard it's just a rebranded Xshot regenerator. But we're going to be checking out in this video. On the front, you have your Justice, shoots up to 90 feet. Nice picture of Ninja over here using the blaster with a signature. Has 48 darts, has 3 little shooty cans, comes with 2 clips, and they are actually clips, and I'm guessing that means a scope. And you also get a Ninja dog tag, which is usually up here, but mine is actually inside the box. On the back, you have your little layout of the blaster featuring the different sorts of combinations you can put onto it with the like different names for different combinations. For example, this one's called the RX88 or the RG121. All that stuff shows that it comes with the dog tag and some shooty cans. Enough about the box. Let's get into the actual blaster. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that comes in this package. Along with your blaster, you get a removable vert grip, some dart holders that hold 5 darts apiece for 10 total, a removable bipod, a shorter barrel extension, a longer barrel extension, 3 can things that you can either set up like this or that you can put together to create a more stable target that won't fall over as easily, or if you shoot it hard enough, they will, you know, kind of explode and whatnot. You get a sniper rifle looking scope, a red dot kind of optic. It doesn't really do anything. Neither of these actually magnify or do anything like you would expect with the real kind of optic of the same flavor. You get 2 clips with a nice see-through yellow going on that each hold 10 rounds. You get 48 darts, 2 packs of 24, a metal dog tag with Ninja's logo on the front and Xshot and Ninja on the back, and you get an attachable stock that looks really, really good. Yeah, that's everything that comes with the package. Let's talk about the blaster now. Right out of the box, the first thing I noticed about this blaster is that it is extremely light. It weighs almost nothing. I don't want to like exaggerate here, but I would guess that a Strife with a fully loaded 22 round mag probably weighs more than this thing. Like, it's super duper light. A kid of any age is gonna have no problem handling this. A 2-year-old could probably pick this up with their pinky. Like, very, very lightweight. Even though it is lightweight, it is super duper comfortable. The grip does have this kind of extreme curve to it right here, but it fits my hand beautifully. The webbing of my hand goes right into where that curve is, and there's extra room for my fingers down at the bottom, and the trigger has a nice placement to it. The grip at the front, while it can accept a vertical grip, just by screwing it in right here, which is very comfortable, the grip without anything, while small, as you can tell, is also pretty darn comfortable. The features of this blaster includes a tack rail at the top, obviously, that looks really good in this blaster in my opinion. It comes off at the back like a Nerf tack rail does on like the Rapid Strike or the Stampede, but it cleanly integrates into the front of it and looks just awesome in my opinion. Plus, it gives you a place to hold onto your blaster if you want to carry it around. At the back, you do have the adapter to put the tack stock on, but it is not Nerf compatible as it is a different size. The tack rail just slides onto it like so. It makes a little click. Sometimes it doesn't, depending on how you put it on, and it locks into place. And to get it off, you just push that button. So it will not work with Nerf, but you know, you got the tack stock coming with the blaster regardless. At the front, you have a barrel that takes the front pieces, and it is also not Nerf compatible as it is a different size and a different shape with this little line right here preventing Nerf products from fitting on. And of course, the big feature of this is all the accessories that come with it. So let's go over them one by one. The first feature that I'll go over is of course the tack stock because, well, it's a tack stock, and I think any sort of combination will benefit from having this depending on your size. The tack stock, like I said, just slides on and locks into place, but there is quite a lot of wiggle with it. It is not the sturdiest, and you will notice that it does flex quite a bit. To put it into comparison, it reminds me of the, what was that? The Recon stock or the Praxis stock. Just a lot of twisting, so be careful with using your tack stock. Don't put too much pressure onto it. Unlike the other accessories that come with this blaster, the stock has a very useful feature to it. On the bottom, there is a cutout where you can take your extra clip and store it. And the stock does a pretty good job of keeping that clip locked in place. The only problem with this is that there's only one direction that the clip will fit into the stock, and it is like this, with your mag, with the numbers on the right side of the mag, these circles in the center, and the little arrows on the left, and it must be on the left side of the blaster in order for it to slide in and fit like that. If they are on the right side of the blaster, so these teardrops are on the left, it will not fit. If the barrels are sticking to the left and the teardrops are on the left, it will not fit. So the only orientation that this fits into the stock is like this, which can be a bit of a hassle if you're trying to do things quickly, so you gotta really pay attention. I'm gonna leave the tack stock on because I do think it looks really, really awesome, and we're gonna go on to this first front barrel. Barrels go on very easily. You just line them up, flick them into place like that, and there you go. You have an extension for your barrel. This does not do anything to help increase the distance of your dart or anything like that. It's just for cosmetics only. On the barrel, you do have 3 tack rails, one on each side and one on the top if you want to put some more accessories on. But, you know, depending on what it is, it might just get hindered by the tack rail at the top, like with the little hollow center here. I mean, guys, it kind of looks cool-ish, but you know, where you're supposed to look through is kind of blocked out of the way. Speaking of, we're gonna go after this accessory next. To put the accessory on the top rail here, you just push it down into this little gap between the iron sight and where the tack rail begins, and you slide on until you hear a click, like so, and it is locked in place and locked in place firmly. Like I said, the scopes don't do anything. They're just there mostly for cosmetics. I mean, you could look through the scope, but it is very thin and you're not really gonna see too much through it. Like, it barely gets my camera lens from where I am here. So mostly it's just for looks. Also, the sniper scope is for looks as well, as it does not have any sort of magnifying glasses in the inside or anything like that. So if you're going for the sniper appeal, then you put this one on. It does have a bigger open area of view through it. I can see almost my entire camera through there. So if you want to not only look like you're doing sniper status, but you also want to see more when looking down your scope or optics, this would probably be the better one for you. I do think it looks cool, has a very nice look to it, and I think it would look great on any sort of snipery sort of blaster, whether it is Zuru's Xshot League stuff or maybe Nerf if it is Nerf compatible. The next accessory is the longer barrel extension. Like with the first, you just put it on the same angle and twist it, and it looks something like that. A little goofy with it, and it does not have any sort of barrel extension on top of that, so you can't put an extra barrel on your barrel. Like with the other one, it does have a tack rail, both on the top and bottom, not on the sides, so if you want to add more accessories, you can do it just like you can with the first one. Again, your scopes really aren't gonna do too well lined up at the front there though. We have the vert grip that I put on earlier. You just screws on to the bottom, and it is pretty darn comfy. I would say it's comfier than this grip, even though the grip is pretty comfy, and it does look pretty nice on the blaster. The next accessory is the bipod, and this one can fit on the side of your blaster, but it does depend on which way you put it. You can lock it into place on the side for some really awesome shooting capabilities, but you're supposed to put on one of your barrel extensions. I'm gonna go with a longer one. And with the bipod facing forward, because if you put it facing back, it doesn't lock into place at all. So facing forward, you put it in, it'll get a tiny little click. Not like the scope accessories, but this will kind of pop out of place way more easily than they will. So be careful if you're running around and flinging your blaster and whatnot. You can put the bipod down, and now you're ready to sniper status or LMG someone, and you just push it up when you're done. And that's the bipod. Both of the legs fold down at once, and the legs are rather flimsy, but with a little bit of strength, so they can take a beating, my guess. The last two accessories are the dart holders, and they look like they would snap into place with the little pegs, but they slide over the tack rail. So if you want to have, let's say, the shorter barrel on and you want to have some dart storage on the top, you absolutely can. They go on any of the tack rails, so you can put them wherever you want for easy reloading, and you just put your darts into them and you're good to go. I like that they don't clip in anywhere, and it's not kind of like a permanent thing like you would see with some Nerf stuff. So that's nice that you can move those around and really make this blaster your own in that regard. And to take the stock off, like I said, you just push the button down and slide it off. I think that's everything with this blaster, but the main question is, how does it perform? Let's find out. It would probably be smart of me to go over how to load and fire this blaster before I fire it off myself, and it's pretty darn simple. You take your clip, take your darts, and you load them into the barrels like so, making sure to push them down all the way for best performance. You can sometimes want to get away with just that, but make sure the darts go all the way down. Once you have your clip completely filled with darts, take your blaster, and I recommend pulling the trigger to make sure that it's not primed, because that will affect how it works and how it shoots when you get it all loaded up. I also recommend taking your clip, putting your thumb on the opening for the second barrel. That way when you insert it into the blaster, your thumb stops it from overshooting where the first barrel will be when you prime it and get ready to shoot. If you put your thumb on the third barrel, it will push it to the second barrel slot when you prime it, and you'll miss your first shot, which is one of my biggest complaints with this blaster, is that it is very easy to take your clip in a hurry, shove it in there, and miss a couple of dart spaces, which I guess is just kind of an inherent problem with blasters of this type that don't have a clip stop built into the system. So it's very easy to just be like running around, and then all of a sudden, oh, I gotta reload. Oh no, I'm now down by, how many shots is that? Oh look, you've missed 4 darts in the whole thing. So yeah, it's a bit wonky, but the little the second barrel trick will definitely help you out when it comes to firing it off, because you'll always start with the first dart. So it's a bit weird, but that's how you load and fire the thing. Now let's see it perform. So the Zuru XShot and Ninja Collaboration Justice is a pretty cool blaster in my opinion, especially if you're into customizing your blasters right out of the box like with the Modulus line. If you're into the Modulus line, you're really gonna like this, because there is a lot of customization options and a lot of ways to really get this blaster how you want it, especially with the, 1,000+ combinations according to the box. The blaster does have some wonkiness to it, not only in the build quality of it, because it does have a lot of flex around the grip, the vert grip, and especially the stock. The stock is super wobbly, but also in the way that it works with the side-loading mag. If you're not using the technique that I showed where you put your thumb over the second barrel and you're just loading it, just by pushing in, there is such a big chance of you sliding it past wherever you want to go. And especially if you're in a hurry, if you're like running around loading it, it's gonna be a bad time. Because not only can you pass the barrel you want, but the mags only go in one specific way, and that is just like it loads in the stock right here. Numbers have to be, facing you, the little circly bits have to be up, and the arrows have to be up in the front. So if you have it upside down, but with the darts facing the right way, too bad. If you have the darts backward, obviously it's not gonna work, and there's only one direction that it will fit, and it's on top of fumbling around with it, just loading it in like that, you're gonna skip at least 4 darts, and that is really annoying, especially in the heat of battle. So I understand if that loading mechanism turns you off completely to this blaster, because Honestly, it kind of does for me. Now the big saving grace for this blaster, while I don't have an official price tag for it because I have not heard back from Zuru on it, if it's anything like the Regenerator, it should be between $15 and $25, which I think is really good for this kind of thing. Lots of accessories, performance isn't bad, especially for the price and how lightweight it is. I mean, like I said earlier, a child could pick this up with one finger, a very young child. So I think it's a good blaster for kids of all ages if they're into shooting darts or if the parents are into them shooting darts at each other. It comes down to whether or not you like the loading system. I really don't like it. If you don't mind the build quality, I think it's very questionable, and this part really does need to have a boost in quality because this stock, I feel like I'm gonna break it. Like the plastic is starting to split down the seam when I do it like this. It's very easy to wobble that stock. But overall, I think it's a very cool blaster. It's a very comfortable blaster. And if it didn't use the side loading mags, I would use this in a war. So really, it's up to you because there's some good to this, there's some bad to it, and it's up to you to decide whether or not you can get past the bad parts of it. When this blaster does come out, the release date being right here, I will have links in the description to where you can pick it up. You can also look out for the Regenerator, which is basically the same thing, but without the Ninja collaboration to it. So you will not be getting the nice blue and yellow color scheme or the tag that you can wear on your head or around your neck or put it on whatever. But that is my review of the Zuru XShot Ninja Collaboration Justice. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a great day wherever you are.